The project began by Shona and I exploring how AI discriminates against minorities. This led to finding out that drag queens content is being removed online as the algorithm deems it toxic. Edward Foch Villaronga believes one of the reasons is the language drag queens use, such as bitch, to refer to each other, is what is causing it to be removed. We looked into the ZZ show. The piece is created by AI and shows a drag queen, or multiple, dancing around on stage to music. With every new move it changes costume. The reason it was made is the artist wanted to bring together two things they love, AI and drag. The movements and performance aspect of the ZZ show is what interested me. I like to see natural dancing, something not choreographed, but more in the moment, listening to the beat of music. Drag culture isn't something I am familiar with, so finding this connection between me and Shona came with music. We both have similar tastes and are inspired by the performance the Garden creates with their music videos. Shona showed me a music video by Divine, a drag performer who I knew from her films but not her music. I like this because the song gives you energy and the dancing in it makes you want to get involved. Our initial idea was to create an album launch party where we create AI-generated music about ourselves as drag performers. From the audio, we thought we could train or use AI video generators to create the music videos. The idea is to saturate the market with our drag videos to go against the silencing of drag performers. We both felt a lack of ambition with this idea, so decided to scrap the album launch party. I'm inspired by the dancing of the performers and musicians, so we thought about the idea of a dancing cardboard cutout. It would be a life-size cutout, which is controlled through servos. The servos would be controlled through teachable machine, which we would train with a mini cutout, which the user could change its positioning of the limbs. The result being the man dancing. I looked into how servos had been used with teachable machine to check if our idea was feasible. I came across a demo where audio was used to control the positioning of the servo. This gave us clarification of the idea. Shona and I decided to work closely on the project as it was just the two of us. While we did work together, we split tasks up so she would work on coding the teachable machine and I the servo. Together, we constructed the physical aspects and set it up together. We researched ideas separately so that we could have more influence and inspiration flow into the project. When it came to show and tell, what we had developed so far didn't showcase well. We had changed the idea from the mini cutout to using hands as we could train the imagery of them. However, because of the setting they were trained in, they didn't work well along with the teachable machine not communicating well to the servos. This resulted in the hand spinning at random and made the experience quite awkward when presenting.
Show she moves.
Nah, there's no beat, is there?
Go on.
You can't, you have music and everything. Well, let's well, as it's for charity, just a little bit.
Watching that video is how I imagine the rest of the class watching us present the dancing hand and it not working. This idea of making the dancing man an awkward person who will only dance when you're not looking is the direction we're heading down. Why? The question could be, why do I dance bad when I go clubbing, and why does it excite me? Does British drinking culture come into this? Do we care less because we know when it comes to dancing, we'll be drunk? Alcohol does help with your confidence, but do we really want to promote that? No, so let's just make him dance as awkward as I do and hope no one is looking at him.
Cuddy Cuddy, call this number now. If you wanna check it out, just do yourself a favor and just call this number now. Call this number now.
The original code was linked up to the teachable machine, so when it recognized different classes it would spin a different direction in different speed. However, now we don't want that, we want it to only spin when it recognizes the glasses. We played around with the idea of making the audience dance, similar to what the original intention was with the mini cutouts. This would have worked by you having to go out of frame of the camera, either be moving side to side or spinning around. The issue with this was that it goes against the idea of him being awkward and only dancing when you're not looking at him. We changed this so only when it recognizes the glasses in frame, which cover the user's visor, does the man start dancing through the servos. We initially wanted the hand to stop at a certain angle, but after watching the clip of Ricky Gervais and seeing his arm spinning like that, we thought it fit in well along with the manic dances of performers like Tim Booth and Ian Curtis. Our idea prior to show and tell was to have the cutout be drag, but since it's moved on from that, we decided instead to base it off Madness album cover, as one of our favorite venues to go out to is the Dublin Castle in Camden where Madness used to perform. We included a drink in the hand as a reference to the idea of drinking helping you loosen up and gain confidence. We created posters that we used to curate the space with when exhibiting. One of these posters included the instructions for audience members to understand how to operate the installation. We received positive feedback for it being visually appealing. However, the general consensus was that people didn't know how to use it. Jen suggested the idea of curating the space more like a club so that the audience would understand the concept more. By adding a webcam into the installation would help the audience understand that they are meant to do something in front of it, and this is where we can instruct them. If we were going to develop it further, we could look into adding more characters performing different activities like smoking or drinking to set the scene more. Overall, I feel I had a lack of confidence with this project, and that shows through the work. We did play it easy when it came to the technical aspect, as we were both weary of aiming too high and not having anything to show. We did want multiple limbs to be moving and not just the arm, but I believe a part of us was scared to experiment with this due to the multiple failed experiments with coding. If I was going to do this again, I would still work with Shona, as I believe together we have a good mindset where we can both bounce ideas back and forth, but neither of us have advanced skills when it comes to the technical and coding side, so bringing others into the group could have gave us the advantage we needed.